All right, we're live. All right, Sergio, we'll give this like 5 minutes to load up. Wait for some people to get in here, and then we'll get started.
Okay, not a problem. I already see the podcast online. I see it already. Yeah, perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those who don't know, this is my fellow and beloved student, Sergio, and
Thank you.
he is my best student, man. He trained in Smo's Monocle Arts, so
For
he's getting
five
ready
years.
for his 5 years now. Yeah.
I think I'm due to be already an orange belt. I think because we already the yellow belt. Now we're going to the orange belt.
Yep.
Took me 5 years in your system.
Took 5 years to get his orange belt, so
Yep.
we're ready.
I think we are ready. So,
And Sergio, tell everybody how you have enjoyed Smo's Monocle Arts.
yeah, a lot of people don't understand your system because the thing is that you do a lot of jokes and people don't understand that you have a sense of humor. But small system it has micro cycles of training, like small cycles and big cycles of training that you do through the year. Like
Right.
for instance, the one is almost making sure that I run at least twice a week. That's the whole year cycle, and that at least once per week I hit the heavy bag. I do shadow boxing, and I have to eat as a general base more protein than carbohydrates. Um,
Yes.
and the small cycle or micro cycle of training is when I'm about to fight. Don't call my other coaches and he explained what he needs for my fights. So let's say we're gonna do a kickboxing fight. He tells my coaches here, hey, work on his clinch, work on this, work on that. You have to do sprints, and that's how the system works. It's a shame that a lot of people don't give you credit for that, but I do, brother.
Yeah, it's a shame, man. We got a lot of haters out there, and you could even attest to this that you've lost a lot of weight since you started in my
Yes.
system.
Yes, especially me that I have a problem with my liver and I tend to gain weight. I lose weight with the way you have your system programmed for me. But yeah, we have a lot of serious stuff to talk about it, and I don't know. Go ahead and start asking questions.
Yeah. Before we get started, just give us a quick introduction about yourself, and then we'll get started from there.
Okay. Jokes aside, thank you, Master. I'm Cuban. I am 38 years old, actually. I've been training since I was 7. I have a black belt 4th-degree karate. I have a black belt in Fakery. I have a black sash in Kung Fu that I did in Cuba. I love Kung Fu, in this case, Chinese martial arts. I have trained some Wing Chun. I have learned a few Shory foot moves from Sifu Javier. And Bawasan, the Jing style, is the one I train the most, which is grappling and striking art. So when I started my YouTube channel, Practical Combat Martial Art, my idea at that time was to demonstrate how much, and you're gonna be surprised, Freddie Lee was hurting Chinese Kung Fu. So I wanted to show people that Chinese Kung Fu could and worked with MMA, and it was about fighting in self-defense, not only forms. Because a lot of, let's be honest here, a lot of people in the community, they only do forms and then they don't spar. And then you see all those videos of Chinese Kung Fu masters getting beat up, and it's because they don't spar at all. So my channel original was about that. I I put a few fights because at the moment I started my channel in 2014, I consider that I was already retired, especially since I was competing in Cuba since I was 7. And competitions in Cuba were full contact all the time. And I had fights in karate. I have fights that were like no gloves, especially because in Cuba there are no gloves or anything like that. So we have to fight like just imagine MMA, but no gloves.
Right.
And you could fight and do her headbutts. You could hit with your head, and you could do also eye pokes in those fights. I had like I get confused honestly because I was a long time ago, but I remember 9 fights, but my mom always tell me about a 10 fight that I had. So I would say 9 for me. And the last fight that I had of this type was last year in Mexico because me, I've been fighting these um, YouTubers on the Spanish channel that they were harassing a lot of people. They were destroying people's lives. There was a guy who almost tried to kill himself. The name was El Puño Científico. They made him close his school, and he ended up selling tacos in the streets of Mexico. They destroyed his whole system. And I was, for a time, their friend, and they turned on me, and unfortunately, uh, I tend to fight back. I will always fight back. So I fought back, and everything ended up fighting Mexico, and everybody saw it, and has become viral in the Spanish channels. And yeah, that's more or less what I have to say.
All
You know,
right. Yeah, man.
Cuba, I live in Miami, and I train martial arts, and I
Yeah.
love.
And you
Uh,
practice real kung fu. You practice real kung fu. You don't practice all that other bullshit on YouTube that all these other fake kung fu artists
what,
practice.
what happened is that in the historical context, um, back in the Chinese Revolution, they killed a lot of masters. So a lot of masters went to San Francisco and to Cuba. Actually, Cuba has one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Chinatown in the world. And Cubans, we are hard-headed. There is a lot of people on the street, meaning that you do clash with a lot of people, like in the way you work, in the way to school, and there is a lot of alcohol there because we produce a lot of alcohol, and because of that, there are a lot of fights in Cuba. So the Chinese that got there, they did practice form that they were more focused in fights. Also in Cuba, we had great boxers, great judo mans who can take the Olympic records, and great taekwondo fighters. So it was very normal for like people coming from a taekwondo school, nothing in the kung fu school. Like no disrespect, they will just get there and say, "Hey, I am a black belt in taekwondo," and we didn't say spar, we say combat. Can we combat with you? It was kind of like a fight, but like if in the middle of the fight you were kicking the groin or something weird had happened, you say, "Hey, stop 1 second," because it wasn't like a sparring, but full contact, like full contact. So they really had no time to be playing forms, brother. They had no time to be playing forms. So that's why in Cuba you had styles of kung fu that they haven't heard in China. Actually, the Shanghai University
Right.
went to Havana in 2003 to see if they can learn those styles back and take it back to China. I was present of that. I saw that happen.
Yeah.
This is something somebody told me that they went and say, "Hey, this is wushu, the sports that you see people doing and mimicking kung fu." But how are you? But
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
That's what people don't understand when they're calling me and you frauds. They don't understand what we practice. But you know,
well, Dion, some of my fights are there. You know, my fights
yeah.
are contact, man.
And
Some of
that's
them,
another thing too. I want to tell everybody: you have the actual fight on YouTube, street fight on YouTube.
yeah,
Yeah, he's got an actual street fight on YouTube that people
yeah,
don't.
no rules, bare
Yeah,
normal. You could Google it up on my channel, like um. So yeah, you could actually go and see it. Um, so what other questions we had pending? What other stuff we had?
well, to get to the meat and potatoes. So Sergio, you have an important fight coming up, right? With that fat fuck Marty Pablo, and they're like, I just want you to clear up any lies that he's been, misinforming people. Like he's telling people that you started the fight. He was defending Herman when he doesn't even know Herman. So I
Well,
just want you to clear all
let
this up
me
with this
let
this
me
liar.
let me go back. Let me go back there.
Right.
Uh, I know Herman. I think back in 2014, and despite everything that has been said, I do appreciate all that he did for me, and I did consider him a good friend. And I do think deep down, the persona that he portrays on the internet, that is a good guy. But the way he's been acting is being very shady. Like for instance, we had, and a lot of people won't let me lie. I don't even remember how many people were, but we had a good chat. It was wherever bro. It was him. It was Santiago Liquid Camus. It was I don't know, like three more subscribers. Where we will discuss several topics on the internet. By the way, you were one of those topics. You, Isaiah Pablo, Jake Mays. We will talk about change facing, the videos, the quality, the good thing, the bad thing. We will
Right.
spend the day sending messages, email. At that time, WhatsApp was not as developed as it is today. Um, how can I say? Instagram was on his infancy, and uh, we were talking email all the time about that. So anytime I would get a troll or something like that, I would really say thank you to Herman, which by the way, his name is Armando Ramos.
Yeah.
To Armando, because he really helped me out. And it was at a time that Kung Fu was getting a lot of backslash online. And honestly, he did help a lot. So we had that type of friendship, and me and Santiago had the idea to go to the Spanish network because there was only like one or two YouTubers in Spanish that were, saying and talking about martial arts. And we even thought like, hey, we could grow here. This is not as crowded as the English channel. Let's do things right. Let's make money, and not only make money for us, like not out of greed. The idea was like, let's make money. So like if we need to go and let's say have a sparring, let's say with Icy Mike, we would do it. Like if we have to go to spar with Ramsey Dewey, we would do it.
Right.
Like something friendly. We were not thinking out of greed. So, and that's how I met the other guys in YouTube, which I don't want to mention because they already apologized. You heard that, Herman? They already apologized for everything they did. So when I got into that part, these other guys had like small groups, and they were harassing like local styles. Like there was a lady that we call her the lady from Chilam. She was a Mexico lady. She was a karate lady. She was a black belt. So she read the books about uh, the Aborigines, the Mayans that we had before the Spanish, and she tried to recreate the martial art for historical purposes. So she got attacked by these guys and Del Puño Científico. And I got there and I tried to, de escalate the situation. And when I managed to de escalate the situation, um, there was a guy, which by the way, I'm wearing his t-shirt, challenged me on a TV show. And he said El Garrote Habla. That's basically like the club. Just imagine a fighting club or sticks. And he said, come here and fight me. He said it on the videos are still on the Spanish network. So I went there and I didn't fight him. I actually showed mercy. And I was friendly, but technically wise, I gave him a lesson. And then in that event, I fought one of the guys that the Spanish guys were trying to destroy. I was just holding them back, like, don't do anything. That's a good guy. Don't do anything. And unfortunately, we had a sparring, and I knocked him down flat. So they want me then to show disrespect. They want me to start trashing on that guy. And I said, no. He fought with honor. He just lost with me. That's fine. Anybody can. I can lose. You can lose. Anybody can lose. But as long as you show honor, as long as you go and you show face. And I told them, so why don't you guys go and fight? All you guys do is talk. But go and fight.
Yeah, all I do is talk shit.
So they turned against me, including Santiago, which, by the way, at that time was begging to come to USA. He was begging to come to my house. He was begging for a job. And I wanted to help Santiago. Actually, I was telling him how to come USA. I was going to send him money so he could apply for the visa. and come here and have a better life. So when all that happened, I explained that to Armando, and Armando took like a neutral position. He said, "Hey, Sergio, I don't want any issues. You are my friend. They are my friend, but I am not gonna go one side or the other one." And that's something I have to respect. So
Right.
I never went down to bother her man or anything until I start getting messages from my subscribers. And this is funny because they're saying that I didn't show any proof. And and not only I have proof, I have witness who wants to speak. One thing is my word, what I say, but notice that her man has not denied anything of this. He has not denied anything.
He hasn't said
So,
anything. He's just said
no,
like a coward, like he is.
no, nothing. So her man sent an email to many people, including Mr. James Lewis, which, by the way, used to call me many times because he has a lot of questions, and I have a video that I'm probably gonna do with him. I think he has many things that he can inspire people to improve, and Mr. Jim Lewis just disappeared on me, and that was during the COVID pandemic. I remember I was praying for him, like, oh man, I hope he didn't die. I hope that nothing bad happened to him. So one day he come back and tell me that he was getting emails from her man, Armando Ramos, Mata Ninja,
Yeah.
to stay away from me. And then he was saying that I was attacking the Spanish YouTubers to get fame. Actually, my wife is here. She's not hearing anything, but she speaks better English than I, and she could even attest of that. So, well, basically, I just defended myself, and it's funny that he's saying that because there are tons of audios that were aired on the Spanish channels, and in my community, because they said that this never happened. You could see this post. Sorry.
Right. Yeah.
You could see this post. Actually, let me scroll down. That start with wrong. That I actually tag him. Sorry, you have to go to my community, but you're gonna see that post.
We'll have to visit that on the community post.
And in that post, there are two images. The second images is a copy of the email that he was sending to people, to trying to unsubscribe from my channel, to trying to give me my back and telling their side of the story. So basically that's what happened. And as I found out about that, I felt bad about what her man was doing, especially since he said, hey, I'm gonna stay out of this. And it's funny how he didn't want to review or even hear the testimonies of the other side.
Right.
And he just started saying what the bad guys were saying, which
right.
Everybody knows they are the bad guys. They created around 600 fake accounts to harass the Spanish channels. They were terrorizing everybody. So, as I'm exposing this, then Martin Pablo jumps into the question.
Right. Fat fuck jumps in out of nowhere.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was. He was saying...
Nobody knew who he was.
Do you remember what he was saying about me?
Oh, yeah. I remember all the bullshit he was spewing. That's all that comes out of his mouth is bullshit. Like,
yeah, but do you remember how he approached me? He said that I was a fraud, a paper tiger. All I said to him is come and tell me to my...
Right.
The first thing he did is say that he was going to come down to Miami. I said yes. So then he requested as a second type, he said that I should provide a police officer, that I should provide a cage. And
right.
Come on, bro, you can go in my channel. Do you see me training at a cage?
No.
Do I have a fucking cage? Do I own a cage?
And that's another thing too. A real fighter doesn't need a cage.
No.
We fight on the street like men. We don't need a cage.
No, but look,
he's afraid of a street fight. He really is.
I understand he wants to fight sports, which is okay, but why does he have to come to put his nose onto this matter? Because, for instance, he said he's just sticking out for the smaller guy. And I'm not that tall. I'm not that big. I just train a lot because I have a disease that makes me fat, but I'm not the faster, not the strongest. Also, Mata Ninja is always competing. So if I have a problem with Mata Ninja and I'm calling Mata Ninja, aka Armando Ramos, so why can and by the way, I only wanted Armando Ramos to call me. I didn't want to hurt him or anything.
Exactly.
And on his email, Armando Ramos says that I was not a real karate guy. So I said the same thing I said to Marty Pablo. Okay, then let's fight to see if I'm not a real karate guy. That's it. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So Martin Pablo comes, he insults me, he called me fraud, he called me fake. What else? And I just said, come to Miami. Then he changed the rules and then he said, come to, you have to provide case. So me, I was trying to get him to fight me. And I said, let's go to street beef. And as far as I knew at the time, there was only one street beef. I didn't know that back in his home, there were another street beef. I was not even aware the location of the street beef. I think there is one in Virginia and there's one in Washington. So this lazy fuck wants me to go to Washington. So I have to leave my family, my business, because I do own a business. And you seen what I do. It's a big business. And I have to leave my grandmother in a hospice just to find a dude that I don't know, that doesn't even have the balls to do what he first said, which was come here. So I have to go there and give him a lesson just because he wants to put his nose in a matter that is not with him.
Yeah, and we saw in that stream where he was talking about having to go down to Miami, where he was talking about getting the co-op and all that. He was scared as fuck in that video.
Yeah.
He did not want to come down to Miami because I think he was afraid.
The same thing, when I joined into the podcast, you saw how much he was shaking and sweating.
Right.
Sweating. You could see I was driving and you could see how relaxed I was the moment he saw me. Like I saw the
yeah, right.
Like, I saw the devil. He even said afterwards, it takes some balls to do what he did. Dude, it takes some balls to go into Narcoland, that's Mexico, Narcoland, to go there and fight one of their own, myself, against anything could happen. The guy got there with like 7 people that I didn't know. That takes balls. Speaking with somebody in YouTube through a video camera, that's a piece of cake.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and we've talked about this behind the scenes too, but I know that this is what Fat Fuck Marty is doing. It's got nothing, and this is how much of a bullshit liar he is. It's got nothing to do with defending Armando.
Yeah, right? It's funny because again,
he
said that he's just sticking on for how can he
doesn't even know who Armando is.
For the smaller guy. As far as I know, Armando competes every year. He's younger than me. He's the same size as I am. So worst case scenario, I have to drop more and he has to up more. That's it. If Armando eats a delicious pasta every day, he can be 180 pounds. And I would just have to keep dieting and being hungry and being tired, and I could meet Armando in 180 pounds. More than fair. That's more than fair. Anybody can get to 180 pounds. How much do you weigh, Smo?
I weigh 190 pounds.
And you look skinny.
Right. But that's because mine is all lean muscle mass. Like I'm ripped, like lean muscle. That's why.
Oh, I know. But what I'm trying to tell you is, it's not that hard for a person to go up to 180 or 190. Like, I can be 190 next week if I want. If I really push myself, I'm going to be dead. I'm going to be struggling to walk. But yeah, that's what happens. So they are sticking for the bad guys, which, by the way, they already apologized. They were getting not only what they were doing was bad, but they were getting a lawsuit from me. Right. I hired a lawyer in Mexico. And I told him, these guys are defamating me. And, I start taking down their videos. I'm not going to say the name, but I'm just going to say the number one YouTuber in the Spanish, in the English community. He has friends in Google. and they were already looking to take down his channel as well. But he apologized, and he was a leader, and everybody else has come down because what they were doing was wrong. Not only against me, I was just the only one who fought back. Oh, there was a master in Argentina, Guillermo Alonso. By the way, Armando, these guys just decided that Cali, Filipino martial arts, was fake. So they were just trashing all the masters for Filipino martial arts just because they wanted to, without training a single class in Filipino martial arts. He was basically aligned with the bad guys.
Right. That's why I know, like, this thing with Marty, it's all bullshit. It's got nothing to do with Armando.
No.
He's cloud chasing.
Probably.
He's cloud chasing, man. This is all to build up his channel, to promote his bullshit channel. Because that's what he did with me. He did with me, did with Hurricane Shane. He starts fake beefs on YouTube for cloud chasing. He challenged me. He did the same thing with me. He challenged me. Then he said, "Oh no, you challenged me. No, you challenged me." Then when time came to come meet up here in Buffalo to get his ass kicked, he blocked me on Instagram.
Well, I'm doing everything.
He's a cloud chaser.
I'm gonna let me just answer a question for Hebrew Elio. I seen this guy training professional fighters. I have trained professional fighters, and I train with professional fighters. Actually, I'm gonna show you a really quick video. Can I do that, Dion?
Yeah, go ahead.
Which I haven't shown in my I haven't shown that on my English channel. It's basically a live video where we do our training. I train our freedom fighters. This is part of my MMA training. This is an actual purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And this training right here, it has more than 30 minutes of training. It's actually like a whole hour. That we do boxing, grappling, like against the wall. Let me go to the grappling part.
Yeah, this is real fight training.
No, I'm actually taking this camp. Now I have to go against the wall. And again, this guy may not be the best striker in the world, but he's a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Right.
And not
a real purple belt.
Yeah, I wanted to get there. You go. So 30 minutes non-stop of the training. This is I'm having a hard time to focus the camera. This is not me training solo. This is me training with professional fighters and professionals. Joel Romero is also helping me out for this fight. I'm training because Martin Pablo, he thinks he's a wrestler. So I'm training with the best wrestlers in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys that I have around me. And I'm even training with Romero. So I'm sparring a UFC fighter and a veteran and a veteran wrestler, world-class wrestler. Because I will tell you my game plan. I know Pablo is listening to this. Look, this has to stop. People like Pablo have to be stopped.
Absolutely. I've been saying that for years.
I'm gonna try within the rules, and this is gonna sound nasty, but this is what Muay Thai guys do. The idea in Muay Thai, when you read the rule sets, is to destroy your opponent with the rules that are allowed in the fight.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to break Pablo's bones from the face. I'm gonna see if it's possible to crack his skull. I'm training. I'm not gonna stand up just to go there. I should have had that prepared.
Right.
We have an equipment that when I hit, it tells me how many pounds of force I'm hitting. All my training has been just not to grapple with him. So if he grabs me, I'm gonna make everything possible to let go. I don't want him to tap. So my idea is to strike with him for 5 rounds, but to cause as much damage as I can. I want to break his knees. If I can break his ¿cómo se dice la cadera, Helen, en inglés? Sorry. ¿Cómo se dice cadera en inglés? Hips. If I can break his hips with a round kick, if I can break his femur, that's the game plan. That's what we're trying to do. We're gonna try to break his bones.
He doesn't realize how powerful your kicks are either. He thinks it's just a joke. He doesn't realize how powerful your kicks are.
Let him be.
I mean, his frail, fat kneecaps aren't gonna be able to handle the power.
And again, if he tries, let's say he tries to do a double leg against me, I'm just gonna say the simple stuff. I'm gonna sprawl, but I'm not gonna put him on the standing choke they have put him. No, I'm gonna be hitting him, pushing him back. Because my idea is to make Pablo fight for as long as the round permits.
Right.
For as long as the round is allowed, I'm gonna be hitting Pablo. I want him to go out of there in a stretcher. I promise him that. And every time I promise something like that, that's what's going to happen. Just because he's aligned with the bad guys. Because, for instance, Herman can come here and he can say, Sergio, I apologize. Sergio, how are you, Tom? Sergio, what I did is wrong. Sergio, I didn't check what you told me or no. But he's still going. And if you go to Martin's Pablo channel, you go to his channel, he's still there begging. He said, you see. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's who it is, too.
So he's doing, I have more information that he doesn't know. He's, Mata Ninja is pushing for this to happen. So I need to tell you this. When the beef with the South American guys was in their peak, they were afraid of me. They actually are extremely afraid of me. Like, Will Rodriguez was supposed to come to Miami and on the 20th, you remember?
Yeah, he was. I remember that.
And then he appeared a weekend early, which I was not supposed to be in Miami. And I was here because I had to train a professional fighter. And when I text him, he shut up. So I had a mole on their group. We always had a mole on the group. They know that. That's how we got all the outlets. And they were afraid of fighting me. So they were always trying to make me fight other people. So because they were looking for somebody to win against me. Their idea was to get somebody to beat me up so bad that they could say, oh, that guy beat me. That was their idea. So now they are trying to use Pablo, and I have the audios. I can play them, but they're in Spanish. Do you want me to play them? They're trying to have to be Pablo to see if they have chance with Pablo. They're saying like
they're trying to get Pablo fucked up.
No, they don't. They know that he's gonna lose, but they are desperate. They're saying maybe he can win just because he's heavier than Sergio. So Pablo has become their pawn. Is that a right word? Like Pinocchio, like the Pinocchio marionette. How do you say the puppet that you?
Yeah. Geppetto.
Yeah. I have it right here.
That's what they're doing.
I have it right here on audios.
But he's a fat fuck, Pinocchio though. He can't fit on the strings. He's too fat.
Check this out. Check this out. This is in Spanish. Shit, my phone died. Helen, ponme a cargar el teléfono, please. Please, que estoy en el podcast y I want to show something. Just a few minutes until the charge. Disculpa. Sorry, it just died. It just died when I was going to show it. I put it to charge. Don't worry, I will show it.
No, it's all right. It's all good.
One of the guys is telling me, we want this guy to go against you to see if he wins just because he's heavier. If he doesn't win, then we're going to try to see who can fight you.
Hey, but Tommy just asked the question too. He wants to know what weight you guys are fighting at.
Well, I'm asking Pablo. He says that he's going to try to go down to 205. Right now, weigh 200 pounds.
I doubt that. He's still at 300 pounds.
I'm sitting down, basically.
Right.
When you sit down, your body doesn't look... Sorry. Your body doesn't look the way you... Hold on here. Will you hold it for me? Just 1 second. Like that. So, there you go.
Yeah.
at 200 pounds.
Yeah.
This is a large T-shirt, and it's baggy and saggy, and I am at 200
Let's
pounds.
see, Martin. Martin would never get up and show us.
I can bring the scale and weigh myself. I did it already in the Spanish channel. So thank you, mommy. So I am already at 200 pounds. When I asked him about training, is because in order for me to go, and again, he's an expert at trying to twist people's word. He will say, "Oh, he's backing down."
Oh.
Anything, like for instance,
He's a huge manipulator.
he sent me that link, and I was not on this. I was in the street beef group. I was not on the street beef scrape jar group. When I clicked, it was taking me nowhere. So I then had to open Facebook.
Right, Tommy. He's not gonna make 205.
And then I had to join the scrape jar group, and that's when I was able to go myself and put my information there. So he never did this easy to me, like, "Hey, Sergio, it's simple. Just join first the group. Boom, here's the link of the group." Or he could have sent an invite. He never did that.
Right.
He just kept doing videos and videos and videos today about it. So I joined the group, and then I put my information, and then I talked to the moderators, and I explained what was going on.
And I want to tell Armando here, a.k.a. Herman Faggot Branch, you're going to get Martin Pablo beat up. Like, I don't realize he thinks that, oh, Martin is just, he's hiding behind Marty Pablo. He's going to fight my battles for me. But he doesn't know Marty is just doing this for clout chasing, all for views. Well, I doubt he's even going to show
up. Perhaps Martin Pablo here is the victim. We have to think about this. The Spanish guys are saying that he's their next puppet.
Right.
So, So Mata Ninja is obviously a bad guy because he's
he's a piece of shit.
And talking behind my back. And then he's pushing Pablo to fight. So they're basically using him. Probably he's the victim. Because at the same time, he says, "Oh, I'm just sticking for the smaller guy." No, bro, you're not. You're not sticking for the smaller guy. You're just sticking for the bully. And
yeah, he's a manipulator too, Herman. I've dealt with that dude too. And Herman, if you're listening to this, when I see you, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Like, we could meet at Street Beefs too. That could be the next match. I want to hurt that guy with the passion, man. And that's why I can't wait for you to beat the shit out of Martin Pablo.
You have a guy who's always looking, because I really know him, at every single channel, every single move that you do to take it out of context. Right. He doesn't show his face, and he only does videos about people that he considers fakes. No, he's not Cuban. Why doesn't this guy Armando Ramos show his face? Why doesn't he go to this master's school, knock on their doors, and talk to them, and at least try to hear their side of the story?
Right.
I had this. I can tell you, in Cuba, I had a friend who, by the way, today he's a black belt in Wushu. He wanted to train, and I was in the university. So a lot of the martial art training in Cuba is done in the baseball camps. Question: what do you mean a black belt? Yes,
he's a black belt.
Actually, my diplomas are right there. Let me see if I can show you. Is there any way for me to switch the screen?
Yeah, absolutely. You got a few black belts.
And now I'm training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because my coach wants me to get, high up in the belts. Like he said, probably in 5-7 years, you could be a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I don't know, I don't know, because life is tough. I have a kid. My kid does have, let me put it like this, he needs a special attention. And I'm battling with that. So I'm doing everything I can to train, but yes, I am a black belt.
Yes. And I'm going to put this out here too. Marty, you're not a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. Just quit the bullshit. You don't even have a blue belt in jiu-jitsu.
Well,
he's not a purple belt in jiu-jitsu.
Listen, it's simple. I can tell you the name of all my teachers, the associations that I train with.
Exactly.
It's simple. I can tell you who I'm training right now. I'm training Carson Gracie's Jiu-Jitsu under Ray Ceviche. You can see him on the UFC fights as a cornerman of Yoel Romero. You could Google it up and see it. Ray Ceviche, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They go to every competition. It's very simple. Marty, Pablo, where do you train and who's your BJJ coach? That's it. So anybody can call and find out. It's easy.
Yeah.
Like, I could tell you who is my karate sensei. I could tell you who was my Sifu in Kung Fu. I could tell you in Taekwondo. You could see the pictures. Everything is more than clear. So if you are purple belt in BJJ, I don't think you're a purple belt. Let me tell you.
Not at all.
It is not that a fat guy cannot be a purple belt. It is not that. However, hold on, there are a lot of moves above the blue belt that a person without weight won't be able to do it. So normally, as you go up in the belt and you take the training seriously, you start losing weight because of how many hours you put into training. There are a lot of leg locks that you do on the basic levels that I don't think Marty Pablo can do it. You know why? Because when I was 230 pounds, I couldn't do it. Now I'm 205 pounds and I can barely do it. So there is a problem with the reach. There is a problem with the length and the width of the arms. That with the morbidly obese that he is right now, I don't think he's able to get that belt.
And besides the fact that it takes fucking 3 years to get your purple belt, I find it funny when he brought out his purple belt. Oh, I'm a purple belt in BJJ. It's like, well, where's your blue belt? I remember asking him one time, he couldn't show his blue belt. All of a sudden, he's a purple belt.
Well, what is a certificate? What is a certificate? Also, all the schools that I've been for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, after you get every single stripe, everybody takes the belt and they hit you on the back. Has Martin Pablo ever shown his back with any lashes or stripes or anything? Because every single school that I see BJJ, they hit you on the back, the whole school. You have to walk and then they hit you. Have you ever talked about this?
He's never shown that.
And have you ever talked about this?
No, he doesn't even, I bet you, he doesn't even know what that is.
I see.
He's full of shit.
Well,
what he did was he bought a purple belt from his local martial arts store.
Well, it's simple, man. If it's a purple belt, he just needs to name the name of the school, the name of the master, so we can call him and find out. It doesn't matter. I'm already rolling with the purple belts. I'm rolling with the black belts, and I get tapped 100 times. The other day, I was rolling with a brown belt, and I told him, "Let's go for real." And I really fought. I fought back. Sometimes I let myself go, and I see the submissions and the tap. This time I fought, and the guy had me. First, he was on top of me. I managed to be on top of him on the mount. Then I did a novice mistake, and I was trying to pull the armbar. You have to have position before submission. I went too fast for the submission. I lost the position. He went on top of me, and I had him the 3 minutes round on my side, like the side control. And he was trying to do the Americana or Kimura, and he couldn't do it. I was fighting, and for a moment I was able to take it up, and I'm almost able to tap him with a rear neck choke.
Yeah.
Mataleon, that's how you say it in Spanish. And at the end he said, "Hey, you gave me a run for my money. You really had me going for a minute there." And I asked him, "That you really fought?" He said, "Yeah, I was fucking trying to make you tap." And this is the first time he said, "And you not only defended, you attacked me. I thought I was going to tap." And he even told me for a moment, I was furious because you are one of the best striker here, but in the floor, you are my baby. He told me just like that.
Yeah.
In the floor, you are my little baby. But
right.
So I never seen Pablo talking about how many times he gets stabbed. I never hear. Do you hear anything about that?
No, I don't hear anything.
Oh.
I mean, my thing is, you've seen Martin Pablo's MMA fights, right? If you were a real purple belt and BJJ, you wouldn't be getting guillotined in the first 36 seconds of the fight.
Standing guillotine? No, because
he's been guillotined 4 times out of his 6 fights. He's not a purple belt. You're getting guillotined in the first 30 seconds of the round.
It makes sense to me. Well, but he could claim, when was his last fight? Do you know what year it was?
I think 2 years ago. No. I think last year, his last fight. He got tapped out by a 5'1" midget. You've seen a fight where he's throwing the crazy strikes and then he puts him in a guillotine and taps him out. It was in a wrestling ring. I think it was in he's from Guam or some shit like that. Some bullshit.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, what can I tell you?
He's full of shit. He's full of he's not, and that's another thing too. Why haven't we seen his training? All he's doing is lifting weights. Does he not know there's more to fight training than lifting weights?
Actually, I have a challenge for Pablo, and I'm gonna air it right now. Pablo, let's do a fitness challenge test
Right.
the air, and if you can do it properly, I close my channel.
You said do a what properly?
If he can only do it, if he can survive my training, for 30 minutes, I close my channel.
Oh, his channel. Well, or if he can't do it, he closes his channel.
That's a round deal.
Because I remember when I was we were training to box, he couldn't even do a 30 second 1 minute or one round hitting a heavy bag. He was getting tired, fatigued, couldn't even do 30 seconds.
He did that? Where's that video?
This was a while back when we were supposed to have our boxing match and he pussied out, but he couldn't even do a 30-second round without getting tired out.
How do you know?
Well, he showed his training. He showed his training on his channel.
And how's this guy gonna fight me? Like, for instance, the day I don't train in the gym with the fighters, the minimum I do is 7 rounds of 5 minutes, and I try to do 180 strikes every 2 minutes. How the hell is a guy gonna fight me? What world he's living?
Right.
He must live in a different dimension that I live.
He's the guy's delusional. He really is. He's delusional. He's fat. Like, ever since I've known that guy, he's weighed the same. He's weighed over 300 pounds. You know, I don't know if he just eats too much cake. You know, Ice Queen.
Helen, I'm not gonna show Helen. I'm gonna ask you.
Pizza. Tacos.
Wait 1 second. Listen to this. I'm not gonna show Helen, but I'm gonna ask a few questions. Helen is my beautiful girlfriend, wife. That one, I will be afraid to fight that one. But let me ask you a few questions. Ready, mommy?
Mm-hmm.
How many days I train per week?
Every day, almost every day.
How many hours, Helen?
Too many.
No, but how many? Like, just an estimate.
3 to 4 hours every day.
Wow.
I know you're not a fighter, but based in your general knowledge, how my training camp goes, what type of exercise I do that you remember, you hear me talking on the phone.
You go to the gym once a day.
Listen to this.
You train.
Talk louder.
You go to the gym once a day.
To lift weights.
To lift weights and all that. You get home and later you go to. I know you have 2 classes. I don't know exactly the name. I can't recall, but I know that you go to one class first, and then after that one's done, then you get into the other class.
Correct. And what type of training you hear me doing? Like a specific heavy back, kettlebells. Yeah, you don't remember.
I can't tell you. It's like
like just a lady. That's it. Like, well,
Right.
basically, I go to the regular
Real fight training.
No, yeah. like right now, I just need to warm up a little bit, and I have the splits, for instance. Like right now, I can put the camera, and I can easily like jog for 10 to 15 miles, like not a problem, because I do that 3 times per week. So I don't know. One month, Pablo, what's your combat fighting style? So I use, let's answer a few questions to the subscribers.
Yeah.
I use a variety of stuff, like for instance, if you want, I can do some of the move here. But basically, I start fighting people with regular boxing. And kicks, I will use normally kicks from karate and Muay Thai. I normally go, that's why I call practical combat martial arts, because I haven't been able to create a single move. Not a single move. All I know has been taught by somebody else. And I can tell you each specific movement has, who was the master who taught me. I would say what I do is more like a small mother kun arts, my modern expression of martial arts. But every move comes from a martial art. Like for instance, I start fighting people with, let's say, with regular boxing and kicks. If I see that they are not blocking the kicks, I throw karate kicks, which they are faster, and you use your hamstring to do it fast. If I see they start blocking those kicks, then I switch to Muay Thai kicks. They're more round and they're harder to check. When you check the kicks, if you don't do anything, I try to hurt your legs. If I see that the person does boxing, then I switch to Kung Fu. I start doing, you're gonna see in my sparrings and videos, I don't bob and weave as much as a boxer. I normally deflect and parry, like the Pak Sao, the Wu Sao from Kung Fu. If you see my sparring and you put them on slow motion, you're gonna see that I do a lot of moves that are from Kung Fu, and that breaks the rhythm of the fighting of the boxers, because sometimes the boxers, they throw, let's say 1, 2, 3, and then they're expecting, let's say, for you to buff and weave so they can't connect with something else. But if you throw me that, and then when you throw your jab, I move your hand over here, then it's not gonna be as easy for you then to throw that cross, because I'm moving your hand over here and hitting you here, and then you have to overreach to hit me. So
right.
As for the floor, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I basically use judo and wrestling to take you down, and if I'm on the floor, I will have to try like a Brazilian jiu-jitsu submission.
Yeah, I want to say too, like Marty is one of those guys where you get these fat guys. They think, oh, they go into a fight and they think, oh, I'll just lift weights the whole fight camp, right?
Okay, no.
And I fought guys like this, bodybuilders like this, right?
Huh?
Sorry, Leon, sorry.
No, I fought bodybuilders like this in the past where they think, oh, I have all this muscle, I'll just go bodybuild. I'll just lift weights and
it's not
then
the same.
I go in there and I destroy them.
Training. It's not the same.
They're out within 1 minute, 1 round. They're done. Like
no, because when you fight, you use the small, how it's called, the small muscle fiber twitch, the fast acting fibers, and they do not work the same way when you lift weights. When you lift weights, normally you are with the slow muscle twitch fibers. When you fight, like for instance, with Pablo, I recommend him to do sprints, because Pablo, every day I'm doing 20 sprints, because that's what you use in the fight for the the fast combinations. That's what you use. Like a slow jogging move won't work.
mm-hmm. Exactly, Kazan. He's not even strong. He's got no strength for his size. Like I can bench more than Mark Pablo.
I did the Spartan marathon.
Right.
It's hot.
Thank you.
It's very hot. Be careful. Don't burn.
Thank you. Tastes delicious. Thank you, my queen. So any other question?
I just want to say, like, You remember I told you about at that concert when I knocked out that heavyweight? I knocked out that heavyweight at the concert.
Mm-hmm.
And this is because he was one of those guys like Marty Pablo where they just thought I can lift all this weights, but they're not real fighters. And I was 140 pounds at the time, and he was like 250, and I knocked him out.
Well, the thing is, like, it doesn't matter how much muscle you get, and this is gonna be straight facts. What knocks you out is that your shin is like have you seen the music instrument that people like move around like?
Yeah.
Okay, your shin is like the handle, and then your brain's on top. If it moves, actually, Helen is a nurse. She can explain that better than I can. If the brain moves inside and it touches the wall of the head, you're gonna go down, lights out. So
right.
The only thing that can prevent you from getting knocked out is having your shin tucked, having your shoulders up to prevent that movement of your brain on top. I learned that in the small molecule arts.
Yes.
So if you hit somebody that has the neck like that, like you see Pablo doing on his training, that he has the neck like that, it's just one little touch here, and they're gonna go lights out. So that's why I'm not gonna hit Pablo on the shin. I don't want him to go. I need him to endure the 3 5-minute rounds. I need him to endure that.
I don't know, man. I think his kneecap's gonna break, bro. One of your kicks, his kneecap's gonna break in that first or second round.
I'm gonna tell you a secret. I don't like his love handles. I don't like it.
His what?
His love handles.
Oh.
I don't like it. So I'm gonna use that as my practice. I'm gonna hit him there like 100 times or so. I wanna see if I can break his hips. I'm gonna try to go for that. And like I said, I'm not gonna let him grapple with me. This is why I suggested let's do a kickboxing or Muay Thai because I really want to hit him.
Right.
Wait.
Marty, he wants to go to the ground because he's gay. He wants to grapple because he likes hugging other guys. Like he loves grappling.
I don't think it's that, Dion. You know what it is? He likes to smell them.
Yeah.
No. No, for real. A lot of people.
Oh, man.
A lot of people they like to go to the ground because when you are on the floor, you don't have the full extension of your arms to hit. So when you are on the floor fighting like that, you don't get hit as much. That's why a lot of people, especially with me, they say, "Oh, let's fight MMA," because they don't want to get hit as much.
Right. Yeah, they're in essence they're cowards. Like you should be able to want to keep the fight standing, then go to the ground if you need to. But you want to finish the fight from the ground first. At least that's how it is in the street, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to go to the ground in the streets.
No, you should not because people could have knives. People could have more than one friend, and they can come and kick you in the head.
Right.
¿Eh? Hold on a second. ¿Y qué pasa con eso? ¿Qué pasa con eso? ¿Sí? ¿Te durmió?
Muffin tops.
My wife made a tea that is delicious. Can you tell me about the tea that you just made for me?
It contains.
Talk louder. You're too far away.
It contains lavender, vervain, bluebird.
Oh, okay.
Valerian root.
Valerian root,
and vervain, valerian root, and chamomile.
Oh, all right. That sounds good. Actually, I haven't had tea in a while. Actually.
Well, it's amazing. It's amazing.
I gotta try some of that.
It smells good.
Any subscribers is asking any questions that you can answer, Dion?
So far, no one got Kazon Productions in here. No one's there. So far, no questions yet, but
This Pablo's in trouble. Well, guys, if you want, you can go to I'm gonna see if I can put a video up online. You guys can go to my Spanish channel, and you guys can see the training live.
We got a question too here. When you
go ahead.
Do you believe in Iron Head Kung Fu?
No, I don't. And I hope that you mean the Iron Head, the training that you do to strengthen your head. I don't believe in that shit. You know why? Because I did it for many years. And the only time my boxing coach hit me here, I went down easily.
I honestly, I would never even have to do the Iron Head because when I played football back in high school, I was getting hit in the head so many times that my head is conditioned to take a hit. That's why when I get hit in the head, it doesn't
Beyond,
faze me.
beyond. But what is conditioned in your head is the nerves. But
Right.
from brain, you cannot condition your brain. What happens is you hit it so many times that you don't feel the strikes, but the damage is there. So you know.
Yeah, you could have some underlying brain damage for sure.
Mhm.
Tommy says, "Are you confident fighting Pablo on the ground, Sergio? Pablo believes he is superior on the ground."
Well, how can I tell you? Hold on one second. I said that 1,000 words is. They said that a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So how much is worth a video? And this is just an example of a live. Check this out. With a real purple veil that competes. This guy actually competes. This is not. You see, everybody's training. Everybody look at the back. I'm trying to take him down. I can't, so I go for the single leg. Sorry. So I go against the wall. I'm pushing my. I'm a dirty fighter as well. So hold on. You're gonna see. This is gonna answer your question. So that's a time break. Lupita is the one running. She's running there because she's cutting the weight. We go again. And this is me defending against a. And I'm even looking at the camera so I could move the guy so I could actually show you guys what I can do. This is just an example.
Right.
Purple belt. So I'm training with black belts, with brown belts, with black belts. So this is me with the sprawl trying to take him down. So this is me trying to pull a submission. That, by the way, he's defending with the ground and pound. So I think that if I can move like that with a real purple belt that competes, I think I can take Pablo to the ground if I need to.
Oh yeah. Well, Pablo and Tommy, Pablo is one of those guys. He thinks he's superior on the ground because he weighs more.
Dion, your English, of course, is 10 times better than mine. Can you look at the Dunning-Kruger effect? Can you read it up online really quick with your cell phone?
Yeah. What's the name?
Dunning-Kruger effect.
Oh, the Dunning-Kruger effect. Yes.
Can you read it really quick?
Yes. The Dunning-Kruger. Yeah, that's. I know what he has that too, by the way.
Read it. That's why I need you to read it, please, because that explains what's going on his head.
Yeah, the guy needs some mental help or something. Guy, I've never seen anybody so delusional. Like,
read it.
I thought Tyree Sneed was delusional. This guy is out of the water. The Dunning-Kruger effect in psychology, a cognitive bias whereby people with limited knowledge or competence in a given intellectual or social domain greatly overestimate their own knowledge or competence in that domain relative to objective criteria or to the performance of their peers or people in general. If that doesn't nail what that fat fuck is, I don't know what does.
So that's what he has. So one of the guys told me, "Are you underestimating him?" I said, "If I was underestimating the guy, I wouldn't be training 3 hours a day, because you know what? Anybody can win a fight.
Yeah.
I've been in enough fight to know that sometimes a person that knows less can beat you up."
Right.
So I'm trying to put myself and my body in the most stressing situations. So if it comes to the fight, I'm gonna feel it easier. So that's why I'm training so hard.
My last, I'm 3-1 in amateur boxing. My last loss, that one loss, is because I underestimated my opponent.
How much does Pablo? How tall Pablo is?
Pablo's about 5'6", about 5'6".
Why did he say he was 5'11"?
Because he's a liar. The guy, constant bullshit comes out of his mouth. He's a liar. Yeah, he's about 5'6", 300 pounds. Like,
Can I answer a question to one of your subscribers?
oh yeah, absolutely.
He's asking about, but you practice the iron leg or you get your legs strong? Yes, I actually have videos on the subject. I do a bunch of Helen. ¿Qué carajo tiene Helen? Helen, ¿qué carajo tiene esto?
Sorry?
Esto me tiene mareado.
Yeah, it's strong.
So anyway, yes, I do train my legs all the time. The way I do it is with the heavy bag, and then we use like a broomstick, and then with a broomstick, you scrape it down. Look at these marks right here. It's from me hitting walls, so I could have it as strong as possible for the knees, because I want to hear somebody's head, you know who I'm talking about, with my knees as much as I can. So I do train, and also look at my elbows. I train my body, those those parts plus the knuckles to make them hard. But mostly nowadays, I base my training in the on small philosophy, which is do sprints, train to be fast, train to be swift, and hit hard and hit as many times as you can. This is the goal for this fight.
And fluidity. Fluid and fluidity, like water. You have to feel fluidity. That's one of my biggest philosophies, and my expression is fluidity. Fluidity. You have to feel and you have to adapt to whatever your opponent throws at you.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that's what we're gonna do for Marty Pablo. We're gonna help him a weight loss problem. We'll give him a weight loss plan. You're gonna knock 50 pounds of fat off his fat ass.
Tom says that I think he's around 5'9". I don't know, man.
No, he's not that tall. I've stood next to Viren before. He's about 5'6".
But where do you got the 5'6"? Just to find out, where do you got that information from?
Well, when I approached, like I actually saw Viren years ago when I was in Washington, and I stood next to him like from 6 feet away in the parking lot, and I'm 6'1". He was like right here to me. And then he ran off. He ran off and drove away in the parking lot. It was like a 36-second confrontation, but he's not that tall.
They're asking if I'm backing down.
Who's asking that?
I don't know. No. I think Tom is talking with Deepa Jen.
Oh, Dipian Day?
I don't know how to pronounce that.
Wasn't going to fight to be. Oh, no. He's saying that Marty wasn't going to fight to begin with, that he's just clout chasing.
Then why he's making all this big deal about it? If he's not going to fight me, Pablo, why? Just to look for subscribers?
Hype. It's all it is hype. He's done this before.
There are easy ways to get subscribers. There are easy ways. There are a lot of topics that I think that he can help people with. I think that Martin Pablo has become, like I said, a puppet for the evil people. I think that he can do a lot of good topics, like for instance, talk about what he likes to do on his free time, training equipment, give description of training equipment that he has, how to use those equipment. I think that he can talk about what he felt on his fights, how he trained, how he could have done better. There is a lot of good content that he can bring up to help people, and he has it.
You know what? I agree with that. You know what, Marty? Marty, you are good at something, man. I think you should start an ASMR sleeping channel, because Marty, you're very good at putting people to sleep. So you should start an ASMR sleeping channel and just sit at your computer desk all night and help people go to sleep. Marty, I think that's what you should do, man. I mean, he is. Everybody's good at something, man.
No, but wait 1 second. Don't you think that he does like martial arts? Let's not lie about that. But don't you think that he can do like good stuff to help people, like in general, like come out humble and say, look guys, this is my training equipment, you can box this combination and do like different exercises to help people out?
I mean, he's okay with lifting weights as far as the technique, even though he does not really that strong, but he can, as far as the technique goes, I'm sure he could help people with the technique, but other than that, I'm not really impressed with anything he does. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't like the guy at all.
Well, I really don't care about him. I just going to use him because honestly, no disrespect to him, but I think he's an easy fight. So I'm planning to hurt him as much as I can, but I'm gonna be pulling out some strikes. So I'm not gonna be like hitting him hard on the jaw. Like if I hit him hard, it's gonna be in the egghead where he can take it. I'm gonna try to make as many cuts as I can. I'm gonna go for a kung fu technique that I know that can rip his ear.
Yeah.
Do that with the knuckle fist. That's why I told him, let's go to kickboxing where I can use a boxing glove. But then he's giving me some weapons that are allowed in the MMA arena that I'm planning to use against him. So after I hurt him as much as the rules allow, I'm gonna make like 100 real videos of him. Like, and I already know a title. It's gonna be viral. And if the referee doesn't take me off him, I'm not gonna say, but I'm gonna do something to him that is not nice.
Do you, Sergio? Do you remember? Do you remember that video of Marty Pablo walking up a mountain? He was walking up a mountain. Then when he started the video, he wasn't out of breath. He had no sweat. He was in dress clothes. It's like, oh, I just walked up this mountain 3 miles and he's not out of breath, not sweating or nothing. Like,
but what again? But even if he did that, what does has that to do with fighting? Think about it.
He's a clout chaser. He's a clout chaser. That's all I can say. He's faking the funk.
I'm gonna say a phrase that I say in Spanish. It is, si no haces sparring, no te creo. And this is what it says in English. If you don't spar, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
If you don't do sparring, I don't believe you. I don't think you're real. So where are his sparring? Who's he training with? Who's he sparring with?
Right. I mean, he might.
Who? Nobody, bro. Nobody. Sorry, but nobody.
I mean, if he, I guess his idea of sparring is gay sets or something,
Oh, and by the way, they are publishing spreading lies about street beef thing.
Right. Yeah. Harp on that too, if you could.
He did everything so difficult for me to sign him. Extremely difficult. He didn't tell me that I had to sign up to Street Beef Scrapyard. He didn't said anything of that. So I basically had to
exactly, Tommy.
Everything on my own. I already signed out, and I already spoke with Mr. Steve Hagara. He's helping me out. I am already signed up. I already posted a picture. Of the sign up, and that's it.
Yeah, Tommy just brought up a good point here. He said Pablo used to fight in a wrestling ring. Why does he need a cage? Does Street Beef have a cage?
I am not aware, because again, I thought that there was only one Street Beef, the one that Christopher Wilmore has. So now I have to travel all the way to Washington just to see him. That's why I wanted to make a contract that if he doesn't show up, he has to pay me like $5,000, because that's how much that contract. That's how much it's gonna cost me. I'm gonna have to have a nurse taking care of my grandma. I'm gonna have,
right,
expensive. for a fight that I didn't call. He's the one who called that fight out.
That'll make him show up. I guarantee you that much.
Well, that's what I propose. That we could go to a lawyer and we can put the money on escrow. You know what escrow is?
Yes.
It's like an account that you don't have access. He doesn't have access. I don't have access. We only have access after certain conditions are met. Like
right.
if he goes and show up and I go and show up, so we get both our money backs. But the idea is that he has to show up and I have to show up. And that's why a contract, I think, is a good idea.
Right.
That.
Yeah, get everything in escrow and then,
I don't know if Tom, I don't really know if he has a cage. I don't have an idea. I was not aware that there was this other group of street beef.
My thing is he's lost all his fights in a cage. Like, and that's another thing too. He claims, I've won, all these fights, and yet he doesn't have one fight where we've seen him win. All the fights we've seen him, he's all lost, and that's like 6 fights. So I want to know where these fights are that he won.
He said that
they don't exist.
He said that he showed them to you.
No, they don't. He's never shown them to me.
He can send them to me if he wants.
They don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something he made up in his delusional. I don't know if he was thinking about McDonald's or, he makes up these things in his head. Like the guy's delusional.
Well, let's see what happened. I already talked to the people from the street beef. They don't like him very much. Nobody in the street beef like him very much. They think
he's not a likable guy. He really isn't. He really is. I mean, I'm just being honest. He's
not likable, like you said. Okay. Well, brother, I think it's... Sorry.
Man, this has been a pleasure, Sergio. Man,
thank you, Seafood.
Guys, go follow Sergio if you haven't already. Practical Combat Martial Arts. Man.
Thank you, brother. Oh, by the way, somebody asked me a question. Let me just reply to that. First of all, I think that he should weigh himself in front of the camera right now to show how much he weighs. I agree. That's the first thing to know that he's taking things seriously. I think he's over 300 pounds.
Oh, easily.
Like I think that somebody should hold the cell phone or put the cell phone there. He weighs himself, and then they show when he on top of the scale the weight.
Right.
Live. Not on a recorded video, live. And then somebody asked me what happened if you lose Sergio. Well, if you think I'm gonna lose against Marty, you must not live in the same planet as I live.
Right.
You don't really know me, and you haven't held pads for me. You haven't seen my knockouts. You don't understand the level that I am at. And if that happens, it just means I gotta keep training more. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, Martin, that's another thing he keeps saying. Oh, where's his Sergio's fights at? It's like you have a legit street fight on.
No, but not only a legit street fight, yo. Like if you go into my channel, like he says, you go into my channel, you go into the playlist, you go into martial arts sparrings, and then inside the martial arts sparring, you're gonna see.
I agree, Tommy.
Like for instance, this is the World Championship in 2017 of kickboxing. This guy is the #1 fighter of Honduras. This was an amateur. I repeat, amateur fight. The one in red is me. But
oh wow, there's that head kick. There's those kicks again.
That's it. Goodbye. That's it.
Yeah.
End of the story. So you can go there. You can go this one, for instance. The full fight is there. I don't understand where he gets that this is light contact when I even finish the fight by knockout.
Right.
You can hear the strikes, you can see the speed. I don't understand where because he put that fight and he said, "Oh, that's light contact." People were living on a stretcher. My student has fought there. This is sanctioned by Waco and Iska. This is not. I don't really know where he got that information from. And also the fight from Mexico. Also, there was another fight that I lost on 2020 that I was winning the fight, but I had to pull out because I lost my eyesight. I was out like a few weeks ago, and then I started fighting and I couldn't see shit. And it was no point of keep fighting blind. And I thought, okay, somebody hit me on the head, something bad is gonna happen. I went later to the doctor and I had a subdural hematoma. So it was a mistake to fight like that.
I agree with what Tommy said too. He said Marty has to go to 205 or he loses.
Oh,
I agree with that.
You know what? That could be a good that could be something that we all demand. I think it's only fair.
It's fair.
Show that he's really training for that.
Why should he go in with a 40-pound weight advantage? That's not fair to you.
Not only that, it's not fair to me that he calls me out and then I have to go to
exactly.
Why can he not come to Miami like he promised? Why can he not go to the one in Virginia, which is closer? Why? Why cannot he sign up for an event here in Miami? Why? That's what he promised. He's been twitching and making everything so difficult. So, if he sees anything that I say about, he says, "Sergio, back it out." So it's like I don't have a saying on this fight. I cannot put conditions. I cannot put I don't know. Everything is against me on this fight. I have to go against him. I have to fight somebody on his own yard. I have to fight somebody, I don't know. I have to fight somebody that weighs 100 pounds more than me.
Right.
So I don't even understand what I'm fighting him. What's the issue I have with him? I have zero issues with him. I don't really understand.
Yeah, it pisses me off, man, the games that guy plays. He's a manipulator, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Well, guys, I gotta let you go. I love you. Thank you, Dion. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm gonna share the link in my channel. Please, my subscribers, subscribe to you.
Yes, go subscribe.
I want to say something quick. I hope you don't mind. It's about Seafood Frank.
Yes.
Seafood Frank, I don't understand why you are so mad with me. My relationship and my friendship with Dion has nothing to do with my relationship with you, Seafood Frank. I thought that you could be above that. After all, you claim to be a seafood. You claim to be somebody that we go to get knowledge from. So if I decide to call Dion Smoke my seafood, my master, that's my problem, and that shouldn't be any problem with you, because I have never disrespected you or said anything or do any videos talking about you. However, you are already putting comments against me on this guy that, by the way, is dealing with trolls. This guy Hatersing is dealing with trolls and with really bad people. That, by the way, they already apologized. So
yeah, he's acting emotional. He's acting like an emotional female.
I haven't done anything to him.
Frankie.
Have I ever told you anything bad about Frank? Have I ever?
Never. You haven't. Never.
So I don't understand why you have to go against me. At the end, I am a seafood too. So you should respect me for that, because I respect you. And this is not a challenge, because I do like you, my friend.
He's another one. I don't have it. I don't have any respect for him.
Well, but again, that's your opinion, and that's extremely respectable. That's okay. But what I'm saying is, why does he have to get mad with me? Because
exactly. No, I totally get that. I totally get that.
Above that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dion. Thank you so much. Master.
All right, it was a pleasure having you, Sergio.
Thank you, brother. Take care. Good night, everybody. Thank you for the support. So please now go to Hatersing and demand him to weigh 205. Everybody, thank you. Bye.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream. The great Sergio. Go give him Practical Combat Martial Arts. Yeah, he was saying some real shit about Seafood Frankie McCarthy, right? that fat fuck, you know, he's not a. That's another thing. Sifu Frankie is not a real Sifu. He's a fool. He's an idiot, right? So that just goes to show you Sifu Frank's character. He acts like an emotional female. Like, would you train under a Sifu like that? So I totally agree with that. But guys, it's been a long day. Hope you enjoyed the show. More content coming. Go follow Sergio from Practical Combat. And go demand that Fakers Inc. goes down to 205. Smoes Modern Cunards.